Peace, everyone. So, listen, I had to take the Kiss scopes down because something weird happened with the sound once it was uploaded to the YT platforms. So, I'm probably going to be doing that on the site. All right, so that'd be www.kissoracle.com for those who want to get into like Kiss scopes and the other stuff that I'll be posting there. And also on Gumroad. So we're going to have a look. It's October. Happy October. I love the autumn, y'all. I love it. We're going to be looking at a spectral deck that is definitely Hallows themed, as well as the Kiss Oracle cards. To have a look at soulmate connections. Divine partner information will also come up in here, but most more than likely. But this is just going to touch on, what is going on right now in soulmate dynamics. So get a good shuffle going. This is like the first time I'm doing these as a reverse, and I'm told to just do it once. So there aren't that many coming up. It looks like just from a quick glance, reversed. But I do feel like it's pertinent, especially during a time where there are releases and different kind of shadow work. I had a tendency to like tune into the energies, and then I would pick up on something that seemed like it was out of balance, or it was dealing with duality type of reflection. But I'm going to try this out. It's been a while since I've read reversals and cards. I'm going to try this out, and we're going to see what this has to say, because it is soulmate readings, and what can come up, isn't always going to be the same as like a divine partner or sacred soulmate type of situation. What you guys have in the air: mental placement, planting a seed. And card number 10 in this spectral deck, which will be available, y'all will be able to get your copy. I'll be announcing that, and there may be some giveaways too. But hit refresh. Hit refresh is the card that comes up. All right, so this is a time for renewal, but it's also a time where things that have to go because they're not healthy for you, and that's what I'm picking up. So the kind of seed you're planting right now has a lot to do with how you spend like your naturally ingrained optimism, because optimism saves as the next card that is going with this planting a seed card. This is what's always pulled you up from the worst of situations, and it will again. So what Spirit is giving me is, regardless of what it looks like right now, you're totally covered in every way conceivable. But you have free will. There are certain matters that you might not fully consider resolved. A lot of your work at this point, and moving through, is it all of October? Like 3 weeks into October, releasing and building, releasing and building. So it's like you're going to be building in that optimism saves energy, and also the play it cool energy, which is the other card. So play it cool. What I'm picking up from this, I'm picking up work with like violet ray energy, amethyst energy. If someone's coming at you with hostility, like that ain't right, it's time to just let it go and let the ancestors and their infinite wisdom handle these situations as they see the most accurate, like it's the most accurate way according to the measure that is due to the descendants at this time. So there is obviously, you know what I'm saying, like some degree of realigning, like energetic fuel is coming up. so that what comes up in the harvest, the mid portions of harvest and latter portions and in the springtime, goes to those who have truly earned it, deserve it, and are finally willing to accept their due. So this can be a sobering time. I think it's going to be more empowered than you might presently be considering, because you have a lot going for you, a lot more going for you than you've been able to fully act on, because you were dealing with restrictions that were unjust. Those restrictions have been lifted, and now it's the ancestors they're keeping you in a certain calibration of energy so you can kind of gather your wits about you, really look at the situations in your life, and decide where you want to go from here. So the next card I'm being directed to is the Soul Healing card. Higher Angelic is the higher frequency here. Oh, and the other one was Heart Opening for planting a seed. So this is a heart opening, but it's a heart opening. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, y'all. I didn't even know that was going to happen. It's a heart opening that, like, finally reclaiming yourself, and living a life that's meant for you. So that's what that planting a seed has a lot to do with. So remember, hit refresh, optimism saves, and play it cool. Soul Healing is the next card. Higher Angelic. I'm getting that this is, and it could be worse energy according to the card that is coming up. And also clarity, you're getting clarity in the dark with situations you're dealing with emotionally. And the candy is better at home is the other card that came up. So you got, just a moment. Whew. It could be worse, clarity in the dark, and the candy is better at home. Interesting. So I feel like anyone who's been trying to kind of pull you away from what's important, kind of dangling bait in front of you, it could even be people that make it seem like they've got it going for themselves so that you will feed your energy kind of into their plate. But they don't follow through, these people. You just get drained. It's kind of one of those energies, more than kind of, I'm being given, where you could get drained to the extent that you wake up one day and you hardly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hardly have anything of what you worked for. This is a very hard soul lesson that it didn't have to be this way, is what is coming through spirit. But you chose to give more than you had available in any given calibration. You chose to give more of that to others than you did to your present situations. Some of you were guided to do this because your heart was in the right place. And we were giving other people, they're saying we were giving other people a chance to show that they can, do things rightly, like they can make decisions for themselves and be trusted to act with integrity. For those who failed those lessons, there's a redistribution going on. So for those of you tuning in where this is most important, you're learning that whether you want to look at it as you're working out lessons within a soul group, or karmic dynamics, you know what I'm saying? You're working that out with people who share a resonance for those lessons, however they're going to show up. Or you feel like there's some deep abiding purpose, or you felt like there was some deep abiding purpose for suffering. You're learning you have a limit. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has a limit at any given time, and you have a limit to how much disrespect you're going to endure. Um, what requires your attention, and what requires your attention if you want to manifest your dreams on earth. So now you've seen enough. A lot of it, was heartbreaking. You've seen enough, you've experienced enough to realize I've got to do better. It's an I gotta do better on a level that if you're not careful, some people will take you for as much as they might think they can get without thinking about the consequences. So you need to be the moderator of your own wealth. You need to be the one who is energetically aware, and many of you are, and Spirit's saying all of you are, like you have an intuition you can tap into. Wait a second, whatever's going on with this person's energy, they're trying to get me for something, they're trying to take something, it doesn't feel right. And if it feels deeply not right, call on the ancestors and humbly request that they help to adjust the situation where it's rightly in your favor, according to your just due. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like y'all have been dealing with a lot of people who see what they can get from you. And it's interrupted your, like, to some extent, like your private dream space. Like I feel like some of you have, like, or a lot of you, Spirit is saying, have like really abundant and fertile imaginations, businesses you can start, different things you can do. You have the energy for it. You've earned it. This is your energy. But due to who you sometimes hold court with or have held court with, you really had your energy siphoned, and some of them played energetic games, mind games, where they kept trying to draw your attention to them to kind of refuel on your attention energy and your emotional reserves. You know what I'm saying? Definitely some of your emotional reserves. Once a person, this is just me now saying, like, once a person realizes they're dealing with energetic reserves, there's that, oh, okay, yep, nope, I can't do this anymore, that comes up. So this is the come up, and this is what Spirit is saying. So it could be worse. You haven't been left with a pitiable amount of nothing, but you have been left with a keen awareness that you can't keep playing this game with certain people. So on an emotional level, this is deeply soul healing because you are refreshing. But as you refresh, you have to let go of what would normally come in and disrupt the balance. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and like most especially, those who take a big chunk out of your energy too often and it's been consistent. You know what I'm saying? That has to be released. We suggest, they're saying, release with peace, release with good feeling, and be in a receptive state, space. Allow sacred mothers, divine mothers to heal you, to nurture you, to open roads in your life that are meant to be walked by you, where many of you will be like hallowed, because many people see your worth. These people will see your worth, and many of them will feel fortunate to have someone with what you're bringing to the table around them. And it's not small potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the group of people that you're meant to be connected to, they're on the come up as well. They have wealth, a lot of them, hard earned, and they know what it is to have people try to steal from them. They know what it is to need to know how to make good investments and wise decisions. No play stees. These are the no play people, and they love you. They already love you. There's a very deep and abiding soul connection. You think they forgot about you? Some of you have had interactions that could either be in the dream time or just feelings, for those who have been in alignment with your energetic path for any given time, even if you were at the grocery store for a couple of seconds. You may not know who they are. You might know who they are, but they don't show that side of them kind of in their earthen interface. So this is a situation where you got a lot more coming back to you after all the good works you did than you might imagine. But it is entirely necessary to let go of what wounds you for no good reason. You know, peace be upon it. There's nothing wrong with blessing people, but you don't need to keep your energy connected where you're getting siphoned. And that's really what the ancestors and the higher angelic would like you to know. This has to stop. You're worth much more than that. And it's coming through the ancestors. Like, they don't want to hurt people. Disrupting you any further, and it's really been too much already, or more than they prefer, they want me to say already. But it's kind of like where they could be left with no choice but to let someone have to deal with the jacked up karma they've created for themselves. Whether your blessing is on it or not, like, you'd still be able to give a blessing, but if they owe people, if they've taken from other people like they've taken from you, it's kind of like if it's kind of like a choice. They've opted for the hard road, some of them, by being, as unnecessarily foolish, especially some, they had the warning. And we take it as a choice not to listen if the warning comes multiple times, and really foolish behavior continues to be, dominating one's thinking. So this is where let them go, wish them well, but tend your own garden. Let your sacred mothers do their work. They can see, you might have like that heart, and a lot of you do, a fair amount of you who tune into this do. You might have that heart that I can't watch them suffer. Some people created situations that they have to contend with. And if you want to get in the way, that means you have to fight that battle right alongside them. And you've done this before. Did they leave you standing there to fight the battle for them? Look at this in terms of energetics. Did someone with poverty problems come and kind of lay them on you and leave the poverty energy with you and try to take off with your abundance vibes? Did they even maybe try to pretend they were you in a way? This has been happening. So being aware that can come with the territory if you're courting an energy that doesn't feel right to you. And at this point, you've been through it enough that it ain't. So you can still be kind. You can still be y'all loving selves is what's coming through. But stop letting people play you for a fool. Don't give them more information than they require. That's like the play it cool. Play it cool came up for y'all. Go in those violet vibes. That's that crown chakra steez. That's that violet. That's that purple. And let those energies they might have otherwise attached to you or slung at you or tried to fling at you evaporate. Just evaporate. Just go. Be cleared. Doesn't belong on your path. You're going up. Some of you are super, like a lot of you, Spirit is saying like that we're going to say most of you are super talented for a reason. Do you think we came down here to watch people steal your wealth, mimic you, try to live off of what's meant for you? We don't like this TV show. That's what's coming through. We're changing the station. Wow. That's awesome. That's what's coming through. They don't, your ancestors, spirit guys, they don't like this TV show. They're changing the station. You can like it or not like it, but we feel like we can promise you'll like it. We're just, we're helping you learn to let go of what's been making you unwell. It's like you're too beautiful for that. Okay? So it could be worse, right? That card came out, it could be worse. Like, you don't have to look at it as you're looking into the unknown, because on that card there's this candy. It's like it's it's Hallows themed, right? There's this candy, but it's in black wrapping. And it's like if you're looking at this, you know how it's like the candy in the bag and it's in black wrapping, and if you don't know the brand, it's like, I'm not sure what's in there. You know what I'm saying? Is this like some kind of licorice? Is this something tart? Is this something, you know what I'm saying? Is it one of those not sweet type of flavors? And even if it is, it could be worse. You could be in a situation without the wisdom to do what you need to be doing right now to make sure your future is abundant and safeguarded. You require this baseline. And you're going to get your good energy out of it. Believe me, this is what's coming through spirit. You're going to get your good energy out of it. The clarity and the dark that came with this, like this is like a moon in Capricorn type of, and some Scorpio elements there too, type of vibe with the soul healing that's happening right now. It's like these can be some of the most transformative moments of our lives and some of the most practical in the way of empowerment and reclaiming your personal empowerment. And you're doing it with peaceful release, so it doesn't unnecessarily hurt anybody. It's the right way to go. The wise know this. You know what I'm saying? They know this to be true, because you can only fight against something for so long. Sometimes you just have to let go and give over to someone who can see from a higher vantage point and knows better. They have wisdom to apply, and they're on your side. You know what I'm saying? So it's that kind of thing. I feel like that clarity in the dark, like I look at dark as a beautiful place. This is where we dream. This is where you plant seeds, and you deal with the bloom. You enjoy the blooms that grow. It's what you make it. But if you're putting hardships and negativities and sadness and all of this in there, then what kind of harvest do you have to look forward to? So as much as this can be harvest time, it's also, you want to plant the seeds that are going to start coming up in late winter, moving into spring, and all the way till around this time again next year, but really more like December next year is what I'm getting. It's like there's going to be, it's going to be easier. There might be some, I don't know if I should be looking that far. There might be some misty moments, some nostalgia, but all in all, it'll be, on the emotional, an emotional heart level, just remembering those you love, and really healing with certain things because you haven't had time to heal. So you'll be comforted. You'll be given more uplift, more pillows to sleep on, is what Spirit is saying. But that's as the energies are moving in, towards next year. But in that time frame, it's getting ready to be popping. It's getting ready to be popping in a way that's in alignment with your personal rhythm, where what you like to do, rediscovery is coming up here. Really having time to be with what you love, you know what I'm saying, who you love, and be rewarded, because this is who deserves your attention. This is what deserves your attention. So this is a huge blessing, I have to say, that this soul healing has taken place, even if it's painful a bit, and even if it's going to take time to adjust to being treated right and forming healthier connections of the heart with those who will honor your heart, because they're that way and they love you. You can always kind of tell if a person hasn't learned the lesson of how to be loyal or how to not betray. they're not just going to do it to you. This is what they do. So sometimes it's just really simple. This is who you're dealing with. This is what they do. Do you want to, it's not, you don't have to make it about them. Do you want to deal with those types of people? Does it mean they can't grow? It certainly does not mean they can't grow, but it's their path. They're going to grow and they're going to learn as they grow and they learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of let them do it, let them figure it out. What's coming up now? Oh yeah, and the other one, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I touched on it properly. The candy is better at home. A lot of you might have been in a kind of depressed with the world mentality, but you're realizing you can make your own fun, and it's way better anyways. A fair amount of you are introverts truly, and you're going to be coming into that more. You've learned how to be more extroverted, more social, but you're going to be coming into it more where you value your self time really and truly enough that you won't allow someone who's not good for your energy to throw it off. You will be there for those who require you, your help, your assistance, your guidance. Um, you know, insert, favorite action here. You'll be there for them to the degree that you are appreciated and it's ancestrally directed, um, angelically guided, divinely guided, right? Um, I feel like some of you might be making really good things out of your home, like candles, uh, you know, various DIY things, and it's way better than, what's out there maybe being sold in your area or something, or it's just better than perhaps a lot of what's on the market now. Maybe it could be like really inventive. It could be really um it stands out in the crowd like you do. Like about half of you have always kind of stood out in the crowd, but you didn't always get the right reactions from people. There were a lot of haters, so it may have seemed like you were being pointed out and persecuted or cajoled or just, you know what I'm saying, like messed with. But it was because they wanted to take your shine. You're coming to a new crowd now is what's coming through. And they love what you have to offer. And they're people you like better anyway. You were doing charity in the other situations. You may have liked the higher aspects of some of the people that you were dealing with, but that's not where they clearly have stationed themselves in the right proportion. So they got to work that out within themselves to recover themselves. Let the ancestors guide and direct how situations are going to play out with their energies. So yeah, so overall, like home-based businesses and that kind of thing popping. Um, a lot of people are getting used to that. They're liking that. They like the handmade feel. They'd like to know it came from someone's like genius. You know what I'm saying? That it's not just some assembly line um, item that doesn't have any heart in it. You know what I mean? Just the DIY, the inventiveness, the style. It's not like a trend-based copy. It's coming from an original place. So that's on the uprise as far as what's going to be treated with abundance. The copy stuff, like, that's fading out. It's boring. People are bored with it. It tried to overextend its run. But people are like, what's authentic, including across the board, including with relationships. Well, what's authentic here? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I really feel about this situation? That's on the uprise. People coming back to their right minds. Um, All My Heart Shines for You is the card in the passion placement. Dream Forever is a shared supportive subtext or frequency, and it's crystalline is the higher frequency here. Dream Forever with this card, the energy that I'm getting, Mystical Secrets is one of the accent cards. Mystical Secrets. Guardians bearing mystical secrets, guardians bearing gifts. And dream better. Like get out a pen and paper and really identify like what brings you joy. You can work with citrine if you've been, this is like the fire element, so this can be a solar plexus chakra thing. This can be also talk about heart light to some extent. What makes you want to go? What makes you want to take action? What makes you feel joyous and feel laughter? Because your energy is coming back to you. What are you going to put it in? And that's what you're identifying here. All my heart shines for you. What does your heart shine for? And I feel like with soulmate connections here, there's like have a sweet while you wait is the accent card for that. I feel like you have to make your vibes right. In order for like the good ones who are good for you to come in. So certain areas where you're like, it's like have a sweet while you wait, like you're waiting. The people that you would very excitedly give energy to and vice versa. The vibes have to be right in those areas of your psyche for there to be enough like resonance for them to show up in your reality and be able to hold a position. And because this is a clearing out time that we're dealing with right now at the time of this reading, this is an evergreen / timeless reading that you can tune into anytime. But regarding, if as the vibe, as the vibe comes up for it, and you feel like, all right, that's the video that's calling me right now. There's a message that Spirit has for me in here. At the time of the recording, though, it's autumn. We're moving into autumn. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like doing for yourself, playing in makeup, truly doing the things that are fun for you are going to be way more healing than you might have previously considered. And you'll be on the mend quicker. You know what I'm saying? As a result. I'm feeling like when you feel like you might be under spiritual attack or what have you, go into like angelic frequencies. Archangel Raphael is one that you can call on to help you like really like hold on to your light. You know what I'm saying? That's what's coming through spirits. Like they're like, we feel like this is the crux of the matter, is you learning how to hold on to your life force energy. And you will be learning that more ably moving forward. So now you'll be more grounded, and that which is meant to come to you can actually come, and like your abundance can take up resonance in your life. I want it all as in your earth placement, but it's reversed. And stellar is it's a stellar higher frequency card. It's Palladian, the vibes that are coming through this, but it's like if you're feeling like you're having a hard time deciding, what you want, make a list. Make a list. What you have here for the accent cards that go with this: satisfactory excursions, candy rations, and liminal reflection. So this is a time for these are all like Saturnian concepts to me. Satisfactory, so being satisfied, that's a Saturnian / Capricorn thing. Candy rations, it's like restriction on what's sweet. That's a Saturnian thing. And liminal reflection, I find it to be Saturnian-ish too. But I feel like, because it's about reflecting on the past. It's about crossroads points. Um, it's really about releasing the past here. Because as you release the past, you're going to realize what you actually do want and that you haven't lost anything. But I think some of you are looking, some of you, as you look at the situation, like, oh, look what ended up happening. And as if you're in this situation, as if things don't change and shift and haven't been, things have been changing and shifting like the weather. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be in that vibe place. You can always change your vibe. I feel like I want it all. There's like this be bring in angelic energies. Ask Archangel Raphael to heal situations where you felt like you can't have anything you want. You know, um, and he'll take care of it, and you'll be shown different positive habit ways that you can avoid going down that same path again. You'll get your sense of reflection. It'll make sense to you. The info will come back to you, and I know how I got here. But you'll be able to hold more of a physical position with more light. And this is going to make it so that abundance can easily find you. And you can reestablish your rooting in higher frequency levels of your dreaming garden, so to speak. So, I feel like satisfactory excursions are they're going to revolve around what you can earn for yourself. I think you've been like thoroughly disenchanted with kind of who you were subjecting yourself to. And I think it's kind of maybe their bleak outlook on life that kind of temporarily rubbed off on you. It's coming off now. The ancestors are cleaning it off of you, because you knew better and you were trying to uplift them. And if anyone thought you were just going to stay with their energies and they couldn't just be cleaned off, then they're deluding themselves, because they've seen you rise and fall before, so to speak. They've seen you renew yourself in very little time. This is far from a different case. It just, you had to feel where this could go if you kept doing a disservice to yourself by, at this point, by proxy of other people that you can clearly see will just keep doing the same thing if you let them, or unless some miracle occurs. But do you feel like you have time to wait on a miracle? That's a time drain. So you can just wish them well and hope that they'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, the divine's, hand is on everything. So you don't, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry. You can pray for others that they'll do well, and you can move on with your life, but you don't have to be sucked into someone else's areas that they need to learn to fill for themselves, or at minimum they need to ask to be guided and have angelics help them heal their life. You are that one. You're one who does that actively. And this is what spirit is doing right now. So it's not going to take that long. It could be like about 3 weeks where you're regathering yourself. You're learning. It's like you're learning yourself again. And you're realizing what you really like and how much you compromised for others. And like, it's clearing off like just something perhaps, for the files somewhere or what have you, but it doesn't have a hold on you anymore. It's not really what you enjoy. You're coming into what you enjoy. So that you'll be real about it and you'll be real with it. And this could bring up other facets of you that you'd forgotten about that are abundance roads. So do take your mind off of where's my abundance going to come from. My abundance can come to me from, all heart aligned directions is a good affirmation. My abundance can always find its way to me. My abundance always finds its way to me. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really have to worry. And this gives you want to call it the universe, divine guidance, enough to work with in the way of what you verbally commanded through an affirmation to enhance your life. So you don't keep being continually drained. That has to stop. And it will, one way or another. It's in process right now. So at the top of the deck card, Sex Talk is reversed. Stellar Andromedan, right? So these are dealing with some duality vibes that are Andromedan in terms of sex. For some of you who are healing from just unwanted advances from others, from very sexual triggering, some of you may have, dealt, with some traumas in that area. You're now in a position where it's clearing off. They don't have their hooks in you. And so they don't have any hooks to use. There's a whole energetic dynamic that goes along with that tries to make a person feel that they're not in ownership of their own body. And that's not going to work because you are. And so you're coming into the strength that you, whether it's been apparent to you or not, that you have earned in this. And you're going to be feeling like you can walk with your head held high. You're going to be feeling like you're safeguarded. Like some of you are just outright going to have spirit communications and experiences that are there to show you like you're okay, you're guided, you're kept. Do what is good for you. Like I feel like with this, the comforts that spirit has for you goes along the line. It's the have sweet while you wait. That's the card that aligns with this. It's some of you, you're still waiting to heal more fully. You still have reflection that you're engaging in, carefully, because remember, optimism saves one of the cards you got. Go to the optimistic, file of what commands you're giving to your psyche, of what you would like to see showing up more in your life, where you're going to place your focus. This is really a really strong time for retraining your psyche towards what's empowering. Even things that try to disempower you, they fail now. So it's like this is a time that favors the personal empowerment of those coming into their just due. You know what I'm saying? That's just the time that we're in. So with this here, like any issues that just have come of you feeling like you don't have much worth, and this can even be sexual partners you've had who just discounted you or dragged you down, or they just were very toxic and had a negative effect on your finances, a negative effect on your prosperity. This is clearing off now, but spirit is advising like go ahead and do some sea salt baths, but set some moonstones around the tub, at least in the four corners, and I cleanse my emotional body of unwanted attachments from parasitic individuals, and that'll do it. Say it as many times as you feel you have to, but this is what you're cleansing. So this is going to cleanse out those that through sexual bonds, whether permitted or just you errantly got yourself involved in them, or you were kind of wrongly attracted to them just due to trauma conditioning. It clears them off. They can't connect with you that way. They can't feed on your energy. They can't drain you of your wealth mind. They really can't do that. But they can't like drain you of what your wealth mind is in the process of creating to keep, preventing you from moving forward. That's over. And you have the basis you require. Earth supports you. Y'all are in a very, whether you can presently see it or not, you're like in an accurately aligned with your heart level of frequency and vibration that supports you prospering. Quite simply put. So do your abundance affirmations. stay in that mindset. Abundance has to do with physical prosperity and wealth. It also has to do with the kinds of people who come into your life that are, they bring good energy with them. You share good energy with them. It's good energy that can grow. And don't worry, you're clearing, and be honest, show up as yourself. People can see the truth. They can feel the truth in someone. So if you're feeling, well, I don't feel like I have very much to give anyone, that's not the case. You do. You're healing. And those who really love you and have unconditional love bonds, heart aligned bonds, they're soulmates like that. These are the people that they'll see through the trouble. You know what I'm saying? To your true light. And these are where the longest lasting, the forever bonds, live. You know what I'm saying? So the more attention you pay to those types of connections through truly loving yourself, truly being in a state of self-love and integrity, you walk with honor, you have a reason. You have something you could look at. You can look at your works. That you have a reason to look at yourself and say and be self-loving. So it's not inflated or it's not arrogant. It's just healthy. It's balanced. This enhances your connections to abundance and abundance people, y'all. All right. So I'm going to actually pull one more quick card. And it's reverse, cuffing you. It's a heart opening higher frequency card. I had to pause for a second. Clarity and divine partnership is a shared supportive frequency here. Some of you are dealing with either agreements or relationship commitments that are dissolving from their former restrictions. Some of this is for an assessment time to really see and discover where it is that you want to be. This doesn't just have to be in the form of romantic relationships. This is a soulmate reading, so it not necessarily focusing on that deep romancy divine partners reading. This is where your person is concerned. I feel like whoever your person is, they're dealing with some duality healing issues. I feel like your person is learning when to pull back, when to rethink things, how to see what's right in front of them without charging ahead and not having control on their impulses, how to read your rhythms and be kind to you when you require kindness, and learn to calm their own fires so that if there's something they missed, they can seek to make amends, a remedy. They're learning really how to have more control over their own fires within, so they can see better long range, like the causes of their effects. Because I feel like a lot of them want better for both of you. But they need this time for self-reflection. And this self-reflection, see what comes up for y'all. A light to guide the way, huh? And there's joy to be found in this situation. So it's I feel like it's like a deep soul searching. Definitely an all is not lost, but what have the ancestors been trying to show you for years? This is something you can go into meditation and get answers on. I'm seeing the colors yellow and orange big time, and that of course can be because it's October or because it's pertinent, where look at your solar plexus chakra and look at your sacral chakra. What are you forgetting? What are some skills that are guaranteed to put you in a good position right now? For some of you, for 75% of you, I'm being given, what advice do you give to others that you could surely utilize right now? Give back to yourself. Those of you that are readers out there, be your own client in a sense. What would you tell you? You know what I'm saying? And there's your answer to, I feel like for most of you, it's just a time where you and your person are drawing away from each other. So this is like you'll come back into right formation. For those of you where they're meant to be honest with themselves and take space because they require it for deep healing, for rebuilding their life. That's the direction they're going to go in. For those of you who I feel like are requiring the self time to just like line things up, get your I's dotted and your T's crossed and you move ahead. I feel success. Like I feel success around y'all where it's like that's probably why the card came out. There's joy to be found in this situation. Because I feel like those of you that this message is for, who are waking up, you're now going to be able to reclaim your energy and kind of make good on like your potentials in a thriving way. And I'm seeing the color red, like there will be a passion for, you'll keep going with it. It'll be celebrated and stable. So, you know, you've put work in and it's going to bear fruit, but with certain connections kind of, I don't want to say in the way, but certain connections maybe not being able to be in that frequency with you at this time. They can cheer you on for the side. Those of you where we're, you know, talking about the healthy soulmate relationships, they can cheer you on from the side. They can touch base with you. But I feel like the ancestors are working with you largely. So it's like when you need your time, could be for your work sessions or to get out there and, you know, if there's a number of, you know, jobs that you're going to be doing, you might be like you know, a gig person or what have you. It's like they'll pop in and I feel like progressively it'll begin to be some more of a tender connection. I feel like there's just some deep soul searching that needs to be had by your person, and there's some moving forward and building more positive structures for your life that's meant to be happening for you, and it's ancestrally supported and celebrated. There's a big harvest of joy on that path is what's coming through. So some of you are choosing to wait before taking things to the next level because you need to be sure of where you're going in life, how it's structured. You need to be sure of that before you establish kind of like domestic arrangements, plans, scheduling. It could be as simple as you'd like to be able to go out on a date, you know what I'm saying, with your person. They'd like to be able to go on a date with you, but they can't catch up to you because you got work to do, and they're kind of dealing with healing and that sort of thing right now. Those that are just needing to be renewed and cleansed, I feel like it'll align. For some of you, you know, you're going to just cross paths at a party and it'll be like, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I think like it'll have a slow, angelic type of flow vibe of moving towards a higher road between the two of you. But I feel like a lot of you are just not playing around when it comes to the fact that whatever you get in, whomever you get involved with, whatever arrangement you get involved with, like it better make sense. And that's CENTS as well. You better be having some of those golden coins, you know what I'm saying, coming in to support your foundation of whatever you get into with anyone. So I feel like you're not in a position where you have any real willingness to keep being in situations with people who take and stay in a taker position with you for the most part, even if they give you crumbs back, you know, especially those who've broken agreements numerous times. I feel like the ancestors are intervening. Like you can't even access the desire to keep going through that cycle, because it's a really poisonous pattern that I'm being told it's being removed, the pattern. So how you'll relate with those people in the future, who knows? It's like in the hands of the ancestors. They do their best, from what I know, to make it as peaceful as possible, but you can't continue to be the one that people are drawing their strength from, and they're not coming back to make sure you're strengthened. All right, y'all, I hope that this is helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can log on to www.kissoracle.com. I'll probably be putting up some information on some stones as it comes through spirit. Working with dark stones will be very empowering from the time of this reading, for the next month, in helping you regather your energy and hold it in position. So while you're working with those stones, you say things like, I am strong, I am fortified, I am success. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.